Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. This segment is sponsored by Claire. The Vienna-based International Press Institute yesterday appealed to Caribbean governments to follow through on commitments to repeal archaic criminal defamation laws in their respective countries. Representatives from the IPI and the Association of Caribbean Media Workers, the region's umbrella media organization, visited 5 Caribbean countries in April. The 3-week visit to Antigua and Barbuda, Guyana, Suriname, the Dominican Republic, and Trinidad and Tobago allowed for discussions with representatives of government, law enforcement, media, and civil society as part of the campaign to decriminalize defamation in the Caribbean. And I quote, "In the 4 of the 5 countries that IPI visited, top government leaders expressed agreement that journalists should not face prison for doing their job and that criminal defamation laws do not belong in a modern democracy," said IPI Executive Director Alison Bethel McKenzie. While we would have liked a similarly concrete statement from the government of Guyana, we are encouraged that officials there have decided to review the issue, she says. The call comes just over a week after Jamaica's Senate passed the Defamation Act of 2013, which gives the press more freedom to carry out its function. The bill has since been tabled in the House of Representatives. Yesterday, the IPI statement said that in Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar at a news conference announced that a bill partially decriminalizing defamation would be sent to Parliament, while in the Dominican Republic, government announced plans to replace the country's authorization press law with a modern statute that would include the elimination of all prison sentences for defamation. The IPI statement said that Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister, Baldwin Spencer, committed to repealing criminal defamation before the end of his current term. IPI said its campaign and the mission in particular were prompted by concern that criminal defamation laws could be used by prominent figures to chill critical opinion and squelch investigations into alleged wrongdoings in order to protect their economic and political interests. According to IPI research, all independent states in the Caribbean have criminal defamation laws on their books that establish a penalty of at least 1 year in prison. 6 countries, including Antigua and Barbuda, Suriname, and the Dominican Republic, have applied these laws against journalists in the past 15 years. With 14 radio stations, 7 television stations, and a number of online radio stations operating locally, one would have thought the sector would have been better regulated by now. While some inadvertently equate regulating with censoring, one cannot imagine that even America, with all of its free speech laws, having a free-for-all broadcast media where any and everyone is free to do and say as they please with impunity. Fox, CNN, even online correspondent Sirius Radio knows much about the FCC, its guidelines, regulations, and fines for such breaching. And so those who fear any sort of government censorship here argue for self-regulation. However, in the absence of that, what passes for mass media here has turned into mass confusion with very low broadcast standards and inconsistencies in qualities. Very often, what should have been censored content winds up being carelessly uncensored. During his final budget presentation there in 2011, former Prime Minister Stephenson King alluded to the fact that several media houses there were in debt owing the government revenue for license fees. While this may in fact be the case, the Star has since discovered that the law in that regard is both inadequate and ineffective. Therefore, little can be done to make media houses pay up. As it stands, it appears as though past governments were only interested in putting clauses into broadcast licenses to protect their own 5-year interests, allowing for a certain amount of airtime for their propaganda. This time around, however, the government's fixed-it man as far as public sector reform, the public service, the media, and now even the civil registry is on a mission to correct the wrongs of the past. In March this year, Dr. Jimmy Fletcher, whose portfolio among other things includes broadcasting and information, circulated an OECS draft broadcast bill for comment from the media and various interest groups. Last month, the Star spoke with the minister on the bill, and I quote, The Broadcast Act was drafted by the OECS Secretariat, and it was supposed to be a harmonized broadcast act for the entire OECS region. We have circulated that draft, which is the current legislation, the Broadcasting Act, and the Broadcasting Regulations. We have circulated to the Media Association of St. Lucia for comments, Fletcher elaborated. We have not agreed that the final document will be as yet, and we have also sent the draft out to other interested bodies so they can give us some feedback on it as well. Vincentians are grabbing the opportunity to get free medical services from a medical team from the Changhua Christian Hospital in Taiwan. A release from the Ministry of Health states that the medical team is in its fourth visit to the country to deliver healthcare services at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. The ministry also stated that the visit from the Taiwan medical team was made following the twinning of the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital and the Changhua Christian Hospital of Taiwan in 2010 at the request of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment. The team of medical doctors and nurses will specialize in anesthesiology, chest internal medicine, allergy, immunology, rheumatology, and emergency medicine. The visiting nurses will serve in the areas of accident and emergency and anesthesia. The visit is being coordinated by the acting medical director of the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, Dr. Charles Woods, and the acting hospital administrator, Nolde Smart, on behalf of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment. The team is expected to leave on Friday the 9th of August. Up to press time last night, the police say they were following strong leads into the murder of a man inside a church in Bull Bay, St. Andrew yesterday. The dead man has been identified as Shad Telfer, who was killed after gunmen chased him onto the property of the Church of God of Prophecy in Bull Bay. Meanwhile, reporters understand that the 5-year-old girl who was shot twice during the shooting is now in hospital undergoing treatment. The incident that reportedly occurred sometime after 2 p.m. left children attending Bible lessons at the church traumatized. It was reported that gunmen had already shot Telfer in the leg before he managed to enter the church in a desperate bid to escape. However, the gunmen pursued him into the church and shot him several times. Reporters understand that Telfer died at the altar. Superintendent Arthur Brown, head of the Eastern Kingston Police, told reporters last night that no one had been taken into custody in relation to the incident. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.
Excuse me, if you see me smiling, that's 'cause I'm chilling on Total Caribbean Network. It's your boy Wyclef Jean, man, and I'm chilling, man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.